Hello, I'm Luke, and welcome back to the Dedunked Basketball Podcast. Today, me, Nick, and Devin will talk about what we want for Christmas from the NBA, as well as previewing the Christmas Day games. And for Sophomore Watch this week, we preview a sophomores versus rookies game, if that were to still exist. So thanks for listening, so let's go. All right, first thing to talk about today, a little bit of the news going on in the modern NBA. First of all, last week, the Cavaliers rested LeBron, Kyrie, and Kevin Love in Memphis, and it's kind of been talked about a good amount by now. But what do you guys think of the trend of a lot of superstars resting? What about three of them resting at one time? And is there something we can do to fix this?
Okay, yeah, the way that I see it, right?
Let's hear it.
When do you want to see the best basketball?
Playoffs.
Mid-December or June?
Playoffs.
Exactly. So
Playoffs.
as much as it really does suck for someone who I got tickets to go see the Big Three in Cleveland play in Memphis, as I read on the Bleacher Report article.
Well, the Big Three,
right?
J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert, and Tristan Thompson.
Exactly, they all played, so I don't see the problem, right?
Yeah.
And Chris Anderson, the
Of
Big
course.
Four. And so, honestly, that hurts, right? That sucks, but at the same time, you got to remember that this team is 95% chance a lock to go to the finals again, and Lebron James isn't at 27 anymore. Right?
Yeah. So
and Kevin Love isn't at 27, and Kyrie Irving's 24, but I guess he just gets off with a pass because I couldn't come up with anything. But I think that sure, it sucks in the short term, but long term,
Definitely.
it's June that counts, And for a contending team, then I don't really see that much of a problem.
I mean, you can't argue with that, especially from the perspective of the Cavaliers, that this is obviously not what they're worried about, a December game in Memphis against the Grizzlies. They were worried about the games against the Warriors in June. But I also think, no one can argue with what you just said, Devin, but I do think that I do worry about the fan that saves up money to go to a Grizzlies game and is able to go to the one against LeBron because they want to watch the transcendent player play one time in their entire lives, get there, yep, he's resting. Oh, so is Kyrie and Kevin Love. That's a little unfortunate. So
I guess you get to watch Kay Felder play.
That's exciting, and Mike
Exciting
Dunleavy.
for me, but for the average consumer, I don't think
Someone
that's
who wants to
very
see
exciting.
LeBron play once in their life maybe are a bit disappointed. So, you got anything on this, Nick? One other question I'm going to bring up to you, though, is obviously there's at least some issue with this. Do you think there's a way to fix this, to fix the specific fan not being able to see LeBron?
Well, like you guys said, obviously it's up to the teams in this, and you can't have a team not rest a player. And even though some past players are arguing with this, and they said they don't need rest and whatever, well, it's better safe than sorry for a lot of these guys like LeBron, and you got to rest them once in a while. But I don't know if I like resting all three at once and not letting them make the trip.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, you could make a regulation of some sort that you can only rest one player per game, something like that. But once again, if you're the Cavaliers, wouldn't you rather take the hit in this one game and take one loss than have three games and being less strength?
That decent compromise that the league can make, or not the league office, but the teams in the league, is at the beginning of each season, Ty Lue knew when he was going to rest LeBron, right? They had worked out a schedule. You're only going to play 33 minutes unless there's an overtime game in Milwaukee, and you end up having to play 47 like last night where he drained 5 3-pointers and hit a clutch Steph shot.
All right.
But I think it would be worthwhile for some players, older players, to have a rest schedule, where something like Kevin Love having a sore knee because he got a bruise, or Kyrie, that's not something you can determine in September during the preseason.
Just rest for the sake of rest could be scheduled out.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I think that way someone's I want to go buy tickets. We live in Indiana, right? We want to go see. Let's say we want to see.
I want to see Curry play against the Bulls.
Yeah, exactly. But that there's a rest schedule, so you go check in, Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson's are unlikely are they going to.
Right.
But let's say that they are going to rest then. They're I should probably hold off and whatever.
I mean, that's a good idea. The one that I bring up, which is maybe a little bit more controversial, but a little bit less planned out. What if you could only rest your players at home games, which obviously makes the home crowd mad, but it does take care of this individual circumstance of going, if I want to see Paul George play in Indianapolis and I live an hour away, I have plenty of chances to go, right?
For like $7.
But if I want to see Steph Curry play and I don't want to travel 1,000,000 miles to get to San Francisco, I have to wait till he comes to the city closest to me. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not sure. That's obviously not going to happen, but anything else in that?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of making a rule or a regulation on this issue, but like you said, you're not going to be able to make everyone happy in this case. Yeah. And I like how, the players are going to have to rest sometimes, but I think themselves are going to actually prefer playing at home. So that's something that also comes into account. So you're not going to be able to please the players, the owners, the fans, and the coaches all at the same time. So.
And it hasn't been a big problem yet. There's no reason to make a rule like you said. I think we can move on from this so far. Okay, we have to talk about our good buddy Boogie Cousins, who comes up in every episode of Dedunked, whether we want him to or not.
This was a fun game last night.
So last night... Oh, I did. It was so exciting. Boogie scored 55. That's right. Like 54 plus 1, 55 points. The Kings won the game because of the 55 points that Boogie scored. And he got an and one late in the game. Somehow, spit his mouthpiece out at the bench of the Trailblazers. And then got a technical foul, got ejected, and then walked to the locker room. After further review, got unejected, let back on the court to score a couple more points and win the game for the Kings.
Fun night.
You want to talk about Boogie first or the mouth guard fiasco?
Let's talk about Boogie first. I don't really think... Okay, let's just cover the mouth guard fiasco first, though. Okay, so I read this morning that Boogie said it accidentally came out of his mouth, but let's be real, he's an actual human being.
Boogie, yeah.
He's 27 or whatever. He knows how to use his mouth. So I think the odds of his mouth guard accidentally falling off in the direction of the bench, highly unlikely, but I guess he's just a good liar. And beyond that, I really don't understand why you would have a technical for that anyway. I understand the whole taunting rule and all that, but if I was a ref, I'd just be like, pick up your mouth guard. That's real gross. And get back to the game.
And we can. I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's been one. I totally forgot. There was one more big Boogie story that just came out when he completely blew up at a Kings reporter. This happened in the locker room. There was a video of it. And apparently the reporter had written about Boogie's brother before, and Boogie obviously did not appreciate that. He did it again despite a warning from Cousins, and then Cousins blew up at him in the locker room. And this obviously is not something you want to see out of your superstar. So you got any... What do you think about that?
I don't think... we've discussed it. I think we discussed it every episode, so I'm not going to rehash it all again. But I don't know what team can take this guy that A, would be willing to take this guy and give up a superstar for him, because... this guy is erratic, and you're not going to know what you're going to get each night. You might get a 55-night performance, but he also might get suspended the next day for threatening the life of your GM or something. So, this guy is. As the season progresses, I really think he's just too risky to move because no one wants him unless they get they get another team out of it.
Right. So on TheRinger.com, which you should all visit, it's one of our favorite websites.
Fun site.
Bill Simmons, the main editor, basically the boss duder.
CEO.
Yep, that's the word, CEO. He wrote an article. It was a 2-part article about if his Boston Celtics were to trade for Boogie. And there was one part of it which was the positive side, and one which was the negative side. And I thoroughly enjoyed reading that article, and I think you all should too. But the one that was positive convinced me a lot more than the one that was negative. It seemed a lot more realistic. That Boogie is such a talented guy, and he doesn't seem to have any real problem, just kind of throws some temper tantrums and stuff, that I think if he was actually traded to a team like the Celtics, his talent would really shine through. And just watching him play a game like last night, I can't help but wish he was on a better team.
Yeah, okay.
Nick?
Yeah, a lot of this stuff that comes up with him, it's going to happen all the time with him, especially when he's on a team like this. You wonder if it would happen if he wasn't, the only superstar by himself, If he was with a team like the Celtics, would he be getting these technicals and getting into arguments and things, Those are the things that we have to wonder.
Yeah, Devin, you said it. He's inconsistent. You never know what you're going to get with him night to night. So if you have an Isaiah Thomas and an Al Horford alongside of him, for example, maybe they can fill in for that inconsistency, right?
He's going to get points and rebounds, and he's going to hit threes at a supernatural rate for a big man. But, what I mean by that is like what kind of technical is he gonna get this time?
Right.
Or, like kind of in the Draymond Green round, like who's he gonna kick and where is he gonna kick on?
See, there's your best case scenario. Look how I think if Draymond and Boogie switched places right now, I mean, ignoring all of the on the court like being different players.
Yeah.
I think Boogie'd be in a more Draymond situation. Draymond is really a little more held down because he's on the Warriors.
Right.
If Draymond was on the Kings, maybe he'd be in a Boogie situation or worse.
Yeah.
Because Boogie's never slapped anybody in a bar.
Except Boogie's better.
Right, Boogie's definitely better.
Yeah, even when we're wondering if he would be doing this stuff on a different team, you gotta realize that while he's doing this stuff on the Kings, he's making it harder for himself to move somewhere else where he's gonna be successful.
And who knows if he even wants to or not? We're not even sure if he wants to leave or not yet. He hasn't said it either way.
He wants to stay in Sacramento and re-sign.
I mean, who believes him? You're right.
So
yeah, it's really a mystery with him. So
all right, so I'll move on.
Yeah.
All right, Devin, your beloved Houston Rockets had a nice little winning streak going. They lost to the Spurs last night.
Yes, sir.
But they're the Spurs. They're good at things. So do we think the Rockets are serious contenders in the West?
Yes and no.
Agreed.
Okay? So there's two reasons why I say yes.
Here we go. This is going to be a while.
Yeah, there is. The two reasons I say yes is look what they've already done.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, they went on 10, they beat the Warriors, which was impressive, right?
I mean, somewhat, yeah.
Here, there, whatever. In Oracle, mind you, Harden had a triple double. I can keep going. I know his stats and everything from that night.
Mm-hmm.
They are contenders in the sense that they can shoot themselves out of almost any situation, right? They were down 17 against Minnesota. Minnesota was really, kind of destroying them. And then within 56 seconds, they scored 12 points to send it into overtime where Harden dominated and they won the game. The same thing happened to them, though, when the Spurs came back from 13-point deficit with 5 minutes left yesterday and beat the Rockets by 2. So it really depends. Like, I kind of don't believe this, right? Because yesterday they shot 15.5% from 3, and they still almost beat the Spurs. And I think that lends something like that. That's something that for a team that you expected to be bottom 10 in defense and only be able to live by the 3, right? So I think they would have won that game with Clint Capella. And that's where my next point is. Like, only if Clint Capella can stay healthy after this injury are they going to be contenders in the West. Don't get me wrong. I don't think they're championship contenders, but Western Conference Finals contenders. And then my other reason I say yes is Daryl Morey's kind of a smart guy, right? I mean, I feel like he is what Sam Presti wishes he was, right? Because Sam Presti always makes these crazy trades where he trades away Harden, or he'll trade away Reggie Jackson or Thabo Cephalosha to try to get younger, but instead he ends up with like replacement level pieces instead of potential stars in like Reggie Jackson or obviously Harden. So I think Daryl Morey is like one phone call away from taking Houston to the Western Conference Finals as like a sure bet.
So, yeah, there's arguments both ways, obviously. My best case scenario for the Rockets is last year's Thunder, who they blew a 3-1 lead, maybe.
Yeah. What you gonna do?
They were that close to being in the finals, which maybe is a bit out of reach for the Rockets right now.
Yeah.
But you make a little deal. I trust Daryl Morey as much as you do. He's a great GM. He's big into analytics. It's basically lay it up or tray it up. That's the theme, right? You go for a layup or you go for a 3-pointer. No mid-range. So, I mean, I'm with you. I think that they could potentially be in the Western Conference Finals. The Clippers' injuries could vault them into the Western Conference Finals, right?
Well, they would have until Capella got injured too.
Right, Capella's
because they had the 3
injury
seed
there,
until last night.
So I think best case scenario, they're in the conference finals. Are they going to beat the Warriors? Probably not without an injury or two. But
like 3 or 4.
They're always that close though, and they beat them. You gotta at least, if you're this close, you can take your chances.
Yeah. I like how you said that the 3 is a huge part of their game right now, but they're not really completely relying on it,
right?
And that's really helping them out. They've proven already that they can make it to the conference finals, and they might not be able to beat the Warriors, but they can definitely put up a fight.
I think the most important piece in the offseason was obviously their like 6th man of the year, Eric Gordon, and I'm not saying that like in a dumb way, just like he's contending for it.
Oh yeah.
And then moving Harden to point guard, Right, because he's averaging 11 and a half assists.
He's
maybe
crazy.
A little bit lower, right?
He's an MVP candidate.
I think he's kind of like steroid Nash in a way.
In a way.
Except for the 2-time MVP part.
Yep.
But excuse me. Like this team is just one piece away, and I think they are going to thrive when they make the 3, and they can get by when they're not.
They're not living or dying by the 3.
Right, but
they're not playing a whole.
They're just so much better with it.
I mean, losing Capella is going to hurt their defense, especially because
it already has.
They're a very offensive team. One of the most in the league. They put up tons of points, but they don't stop a lot of people, and they're just going to outscore you, whoever you are, and that's the idea, right?
Right. They're third in offense, 14th in defense, so they've gone up.
Not too bad.
13 spots in the last month on defense, but still, without Capella, that hurts.
So another interesting story coming out of the Philadelphia 76ers. Everyone's favorite NBA player, Nerlens Noel. Oh, wait, never mind. No, not your favorite. Nerlens Noel. He's one of the 3 centers on the Sixers of note. It's Noel, Joel Embiid, and Jahlil Okafor. And they also have a lot of power forwards, like, I don't know, Ben Simmons, Dario Saric, and Rashawn Holmes also. So it's a very big team. Everyone knows that. Too many centers there. And Noel kind of brought that to light, saying there's too many centers on this team. They really don't fit all playing together, and he complained about his minutes.
Right, he said he's better than playing. He's too good to play 8 minutes a night.
Which is kind of true.
Which got him suspended.
So everyone knows the Sixers have too many centers. What do you guys think going forward with the Sixers as far as their center problem? What can they do? What will they do? And do you think they will?
I think they force themselves in the corner now. They have to trade Noel, right?
Yeah.
Because they basically openly said, like, hey, you don't think you're worth 8 minutes? Well, you're not going to play at all then.
Try 0, yeah.
Yeah, so I think they've burned a bridge there relationship-wise, and they have to get rid of him now.
So I'm going to go a little bit less
Plus,
far
no
with
one
that.
really wants Okafor.
I think that between Okafor and Noel, Okafor might be more likely to be traded because Noel's value has one of the reasons they've not played Noel a lot is because they want Okafor's trade value to be a little more obvious. Maybe if Noel stays on the bench, doesn't play as much, they unload Okafor, and then Noel can get a few more minutes in. I mean, it's not the obvious scenario, but I do think that Noel's trade value has gone way down this year because he hasn't played much at all. And if the Sixers organization wanted to make a trade there, they would have to have done it already because at this point, it might be a lost cause in the trade market too. So maybe if they trade Okafor, they have a spot, get Noel for more minutes. Maybe he'll get a little bit happier. He plays, if they get rid of Okafor, he will play. Yeah. Maybe that'll get his morale a little bit back up too. So they gotta get rid of one of the two.
I think the problem with Okafor is we're seeing that he hasn't really improved much on the defensive end.
For sure.
And I really see him as kind of like an Andre Drummond right. Like the guy can score, but he's not necessarily the best defensive player on the team, which is what you expect your big to be. And so I think that really marks down his value a lot. Whereas Noel, they can get a lot more in return for him, and they don't have to worry about this whole relationship issue that they have with him now.
Nick?
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there. Embiid is obviously the solid starter.
I love that guy.
And at this point, I would have to say that Okafor is playing better than Noel, but is he more likely to be traded? Yeah, I would have to say yes. I would have to agree with you because he is playing better,
Right.
That gives them more options that gives them the opportunity to make a move somewhere.
And if you're an NBA team, other than the Sixers right now, would you give up more in exchange for Noel or give up more in exchange for Okafor? It's pretty tough, right?
Yeah, probably Noel.
Yeah.
Well, it really depends on what you need, right? Because if you're first in defense but you're last in offense, you're going to go
sure.
Okafor.
It definitely depends who it is.
So, that's a whole we should have prepared.
We can have a little more time on that if we needed to later, some other time. I think for me it's probably Noel by a little bit because Okafor is more of a very specific player. He's like an Enes Kanter type.
Yeah, that's a really good comparison.
He can score a lot in the post, but he's not going to stop anybody, and he might just get exploited on the defensive end. He's never going to be an NBA. Okay, I'm going to give him a little more time. He probably won't be a very solid NBA starter somewhere, but you never really know.
Yeah.
And I think his best case scenario is Kanter, where he can be the sixth man. Maybe he can start and he can get buckets offensively and kind of be a defensive liability. But some teams kind of could use that, like maybe the Celtics, maybe the Trailblazers. There's a few teams who could use that.
Yeah, I would take Okafor over Kelly Olynyk most days.
Yeah,
so.
But Noel, on the other hand, a much more well-rounded player, a great defender, rim protector, which is very important for a center in this NBA. He can work off the pick and roll a little bit. He can move a little bit more than Okafor can defensively. So I would probably take Noel, but they both are specific in different ways.
As a Rockets fan, I definitely would prefer Noel on my team, right? And going back to this last topic, with Capella out, they don't have a lot of rim protection or pick and roll ability. And I think the Rockets can put together a nice trade involving awkward KJ McDaniels, right?
Yeah.
That's really all I got.
So Nick, who do you got?
Between those two, they're quite similar in ability, like you said, but it really depends because they're so different in their play style that really it just depends on who the Sixers want to trade and who they want to make a move for.
Yeah, so we're using up a lot of time. So let's try to make this one a little bit quick. There's been a lot of injuries recently. This is kind of the season for injuries. Tis the season for a few more injuries start showing up. Mike Conley came back from a fractured back in 3 weeks.
Oh wow!
Right?
I don't know what to say.
That's impressive. I really hope he's okay.
I wish your knee injury had been that.
I know,
easy,
right? I had knee surgery. Also, the Grizzlies are pretty scary, right?
Oh yeah, right. And we just saw what they did with Tony Allen starting at the 3 instead of Chandler Parsons.
Also,
and with Andrew Harrison starting at point guard instead of Mike Conley.
Also, 3-point shooting, Marc Gasol does exist, and he's quite good.
He's very fun.
So let's make that one a quick.
They're
one.
the team that you think every year they're gonna decline, but they just
they get better.
They're right Spurs light, right?
Every year, yeah.
I don't get.
Okay, so there have been a few injuries coming up very recently. Blake Griffin out 3 to 6 weeks. How long is Capella out, Devin?
4 to 6.
4 to 6 for Clint Capella, and J.R. Smith 4 to 6. For
Probably
Smith.
Closer to 6.
4 to 6 as well. So between those three, Griffin, Capella, and J.R. are about the same each length. Which of these 3 injuries will affect their team the most?
Interesting. I'm gonna go. Nick, you go. What do you think?
All right, I'm gonna have to go with Blake Griffin.
Yeah, me too.
He's leading the team, I believe, in points and rebounds right now, and he is the only All-Star caliber player on that team besides obviously CP3. So we'll see how that goes without him. But the other 2 teams, they have other assets to kind of fill in, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean...
okay, you go.
Okay, I'll go. Last year, Griffin got hurt as well. He may or may not have punched someone in the face who was his friend and broke his hand.
Whoops.
But Griffin, the Clippers actually did quite well without him last year, which came as a surprise to a lot of people because he's a very good player, which is why there's an argument for Capella, too, because he's such a specific piece for them. But I'm going to lean toward Griffin as well, Nick. One thing I'd like to point out about Blake, the amount of... The play style that he's had has drastically changed over his career. Whether that has to do with injuries or not, it might not. His rookie year he was injured the whole season. Last year he was hurt and now he's hurt again. The statistic that stuck out to me was Griffin's dunk percentage. The amount of his points that came off dunks, you hear this as well, is it was 1/3 at the beginning of his career. It was 1/4 a few years ago before last year's injury, and this season it's been 1/8, which is interesting in 2 ways. First of all, because the athleticism is being used less, whether that's because of his injuries or not, you could make the argument either way. But also he's shooting a lot more threes, which in a way has helped the Clippers out. Is because
do you know his percentage on that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
He's playing more. Here I have his stats up now. He's playing more of an outside game. He's only shooting 23% on threes. Maybe not the most efficient scorer, but the way he's playing outside has really changed from Lob City isn't really a thing anymore.
Yeah.
And it's changed the Clippers to a different type of team.
It's really weird watching Blake because you know he's better than how he plays, yet he plays. I don't understand. Like, you can see how he's playing is not the way that he is used to playing, right? Like he's defending better, he's passing, he's shooting the 3 ball, he's not dunking as much, right? He's kind of preserving his health, or maybe his health has forced him, take a step back from the hoop. But it's weird watching him because he just doesn't. I don't think he's looked as comfortable this season.
Yeah,
and
he's averaging 21-9, so that's pretty good.
Right. I'm not saying he's been bad. I'm just saying he just doesn't look the same Blake Griffin as we've seen for the past few years.
And I mean, DeAndre Jordan is averaging 13 boards, which means he's taking a load off Blake's shoulders in that respect.
Yeah.
And Chris Paul has been unbelievable this year, and he's been scoring a lot more. 18 points per game for Chris Paul. Mm-hmm. So you've got to at least, there's an argument for Clint Capella as the biggest impact of an injury. We already covered him quite a bit.
Yeah.
Defensive stopper that they really don't have in a post when he's gone, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nene and Montrezl Harrell aren't exactly
not
making
exactly
up the missing ground there. But honestly, I think you can make a case for JR too.
Really?
For sure. Yeah.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Because now, like, they lost Chris Anderson. Okay, not a big loss. Let's be real, but that hurts their big rotation. Mm-hmm. They don't have Mo Williams, so their backup point guard is like Kay Felder or Shumpert.
Yep.
Right. Losing another guard hurts them a lot. Now, don't get me wrong; they're going to the finals.
Yeah.
But the way that they're going to have to go there
in the short term,
it's going to mean a lot more minutes for the starters and for the secondary guys, and that's going to hurt without JR.
There's an argument there.
Yeah.
Nick, you got anything else in the subject?
Just going back quick to Blake Griffin. Like you said, how much his game has changed, really. I'm looking at his stats right now. His minutes per game is quite interesting, actually. It's gone down every year since his rookie year.
Wow.
And he's improved as a player, so he's not getting benched
but
for
on the other hand,
ability.
his points per game has stayed the same the last 3 or 4 years, pretty much.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, is that about it for the injuries going on?
Yeah.
So one more thing we want to touch on. In the past season, we've had 4 legends retire from the NBA. Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen. And of those 4, they're all legends, obviously. They've all have 5 rings each? I don't know. They all have... I'm not sure how many Allen and KG have, but Kobe and Duncan with 5 rings each.
KG only has
3, 4.
You look it up.
They're all some of the greatest players in NBA history. Kobe and Duncan are probably top 10. Uh-huh. So, looking back on the careers of these 4, how are they different?
KG
How are they the same?
He has like 1
really?
With the Celtics.
With the Celtics?
Yeah, because he never won in Minnesota, and he definitely didn't win.
Well, him and Allen and Pierce had how many? 1?
They only had 1 in 2008.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. All right.
Allen has a few with the Heat and.
So that's true. Yeah. So starting off with Kobe and Duncan, because obviously those 2 are the top 2.
Yeah.
Let's rank these 4 and their legacies as far as the greatest of all time list.
Okay, well, I think if we're gonna go legacy wise, honestly, I think Duncan is way down there. Right now, not necessarily.
Well, we're going greatest of all time.
Okay,
I mean,
we're
that has to do with legacy a little bit, but I know what you
Okay.
mean.
Okay, then I misunderstood.
The impact that he's had on fans maybe a little bit less.
Yeah.
But
I mean, unless you live in San Antonio.
That just kind of intertwines with his personality. So
Yeah.
it's
a very awesome contrast between Kobe and Duncan.
Oh yeah. So I mean, number 1, it's got to be Kobe, right? Like
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's just gonna have to be Kobe.
It has to be Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
Like the can you even like he's the stark contrast to Duncan, right? This guy, he's boisterous, he's loud, he'll make fun of Kwame Brown during timeout.
So will I.
Like,
Who will make fun of Kwame Brown?
I know at one point he did say on the bench or in a timeout, his coach, I think it was at the time, it was Phil Jackson. He's like, "Come on, you got to pass the ball more." This is like the 04-05 season, and he's like, "I would, but who am I supposed to pass to? Kwame Brown." So I mean, makes sense, right? Right in front of his face. Like this guy was, he had an 82-point game, right? That just goes to show how much he was. I don't want to say conceited, but how much he saw himself as the only option on every team.
Yeah, Kobe,
even with Shaq.
Kobe's essentially, he's like a myth. He's such a legend in NBA history at this point. I'm putting him ahead of Duncan by not that much, though. Kobe, he has the Mamba mentality. It's become a brand, right? Yeah. Kobe, the Mamba, the Black Mamba. Everyone knows exactly what it is. But Duncan is the exact opposite, like you said.
Big fundamental.
He's quiet. The big fundamental versus the Black Mamba.
Yeah.
What else is there to say? Kobe had a big retirement tour. He wrote a poem in the Players Journal or whatever, and he kind of took in the attention all year. as Duncan retired after the season quietly, and now he came at one Spurs game the other night to get his jersey retired. So yeah, it's such a big contrast in their careers and everything, and their styles as a player.
Yeah, right. Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant went off on a 60-point performance
on his last game.
Unreal performance. Did you watch that game?
Yes, I did.
That was such a good game.
Yep.
Especially him going 0 for 12 in the first quarter or whatever.
Yeah, it's bad.
And then Tim Duncan went out on a Serge Ibaka block.
Didn't even know it was gonna be his last game though. That was the thing.
Serge Ibaka blocking him. I should.
Oh yeah.
In that game 6 of the playoffs where he knew he was losing, and he was going to go home and it was time for him to retire. But fun fact that I have seen a little bit of rumors, and it's got the slightest bit of traction on it. That Tim Duncan just didn't want to go through an 82 game grind again.
Could be.
But they might pick him up
playoffs
come April. Just to be part of the second or third unit off the bench.
I could really enjoy that. All right.
I could get in.
All right, yeah, Kobe, I've got to take him on greatest of all time list. I've got him right around 7 at this point.
Me too. 8.
He,
you know it right away, don't you?
I have the top 10 in my head.
Both of them won 5 rings. Kobe had 3 with Shaq. I think they both had 1 MVP. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Kobe probably got snubbed out of 1 or 2 more, which really is a testament to him. He was so much more emotional than Duncan, like you said.
Apparently, yeah. His emotion was more obvious, for sure.
His good and his bad. It was just obvious. So, I've got Kobe, he's just the typical, legend. You think of him more as a legend, when you're looking back on his career. So, that's really what I see when I compare the two.
So, one thing I'd like to point out, hopefully I'm not taking too much time, but I think Shaq is the wild card here because Shaq and Kobe had pretty much not identical, but about equal stats when they played together. And I think Shaq won the Finals MVP once or twice.
Yeah, he did.
In those 3
Twice,
years.
I think, maybe 3 times.
So if we're saying that of the 5 rings Kobe had, he was the best player 3 to 5 times, and Duncan, obviously 5 out of the 5 times, does that push Duncan over the edge? We're saying it doesn't, but I think you have to at least bring that up.
Yeah, no, totally, yeah.
Duncan was the best player. He was better than Parker and Ginobili, unarguably, every time he won a ring.
Every
year that he was.
So you have to at least point that out.
Until Kawhi, obviously, in 2014. But
Kobe never broke through for a ring until he had Shaq on his team. And afterward, he got 2 with Powell and Fisher in them. So I think you have to at least make that argument that if you're going to say Duncan, that's why. Because Duncan never had a Shaq on his team who took up half the shots.
Right, yeah, totally.
All right, should we do Allen and KG next?
Let's touch on them.
Okay, yeah. We would just go quick.
So, I think I'm going to put Garnett ahead of him by a little bit.
Me too.
They played together, and we got to see who was better, and I think it was Garnett. But Allen is such a different type of player because Garnett is the alpha dog. He is the awesome person. He's the guy. That's the best way you can put it.
Yeah.
And he's such a hardworking player, one of my favorites of this last generation. But Allen he's a niche guy. He played for the Bucks and the Sonics, and then the Celtics, famously, but also the Heat. And I'm missing 1 or 2. I don't know. Every team Allen played on, though, he wasn't the star player once on a good team. But he would sneak in there. He would save LeBron by making a corner 3. And
Thank you, Skip Bayless.
I got you.
Thank you, Skip Bayless.
So he would always come through for the big shot, but he was never the number 1 guy. And I think that's really Ray Allen's legacy is that you have to always remember him as the guy who always came through when you least expected it.
And you got to think of him as the 2nd greatest shooter of all time. Thank you, Stephen Curry.
We always think of Ray Allen as a fantastic shooter, which he definitely is, and that's always what he will be. But I think we also have to remember that he was more than that. He was a pretty good defender, and he always had those. He once in a while had those fantastic dunks that just kind of came out of nowhere.
He's not a 3-point specialist. He's not a Klay Thompson. Sorry, Klay, I love you.
I would like to see with his championships added stat is right.
Oh yeah.
Because without him, no, LeBron doesn't have 3 titles, right? Without him, Do the Lakers win that 08 series?
It's just one moment at a time, though.
Right,
Thing
exactly.
with him. He just all of a sudden, pop, there he is, and he goes back.
It really comes out of nowhere.
There was a really interesting article. I don't know why. I think it just came straight off Bleacher Report of why Kyrie Irving had the greatest clutch shot of all time. Have you read it yet?
Ooh, no, I have
not. The way it
reminiscent of Ray Allen's shot.
The way it's set up is that his shot added championship probability by 82%.
I've read that. Yes, I have.
Yeah, it might be a little bit older.
Yeah, there's a stat for the chance of winning the title that season, and that made such a big difference in the Cavs' chances.
I think that's really where Ray Allen's legacy lies, right?
Yep, he always made that one big shot. Are we good for that section?
Yeah, I think so.
Just we're glad we were able to watch those four guys, and we're glad we get to see the next generation now too. So
yeah, I can't wait to watch. I can't wait to talk about Ben Simmons.
Speaking of the next generation. Bill Simmons of The Ringer wrote an excellent article. I keep talking about Bill Simmons articles, but this was a very recent one. He is. This one is called Battle of the NBA Unicorns. Between Kristaps Porzingis, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Joel Embiid, he debated which of those three had the brightest future. And we're not going to reveal his answer quite yet. We're going to debate ours first. I feel like this is a really tough argument. We have Embiid, who had a few injuries, but he's looking unbelievable in his now rookie season. Giannis, who's really coming to his own this year, the Greek freak. And then, of course, Porzingis, who feels like he's rapidly improved from last year. Now he's almost an all-star. Maybe he is.
Yeah.
So between those three, who's your pick for the guy that if you had to pick one to be on your team, who would you take as the brightest future?
All right, can I go with my honorable mentions?
Please do.
Okay, my spoilers, I chose Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Okay.
Joel Embiid. Wow, right?
Wow.
Like, generational talent, we can already tell that this guy's a great post presence. He's got a great three-point shot.
He's the future of basketball, if I may.
I mean, he's I mean, that's the process really paid off, right? Didn't it? And I think you can definitely look at that guy and be like, this guy, this is him and Ben Simmons are the two guys you got to build around in this process team here. But
the process team, good name.
The problem with the process is
the Philadelphia process. Okay.
The problem with the process, as he has nicknamed himself, is that A, he nicknamed himself, and B,
true.
The guy, who knows, he might get injured tonight, right?
Don't say that.
Like, he might fall and have to have knee surgery and be out for the rest of the season. Whereas Porzingis and Giannis, that's highly unlikely compared to the likelihood of Embiid getting injured.
Yeah, I'd take Giannis in this situation too, because really they're all moving forward in their careers. They're in their second or third-ish years, and Giannis is the only one who's taken that next step. He's the only legitimate, probably all-star so far this year. I really like how him and Jabari Parker are kind of bouncing off of each other. They're both really improving this season.
I'm a big Jabari fan here.
Yeah, same. Giannis is really an all-around. He's really just improved. His three-point shooting, how he's changed to a point guard is just phenomenal.
He can do it. He's so fast because of his long legs. It's crazy.
If I can creep in here a little bit,
sure.
I'd like to play devil's advocate against your argument there, Nick. Sorry. So Giannis right now is the best player of the three. I don't think Porzingis is far behind.
No.
He's a possible all-star this year. Giannis is definitely an all-star, right? He's probably a top 20, 25 player.
Yeah.
But Embiid is a year behind those two guys, at least. He's a year behind, and he's a couple surgeries behind.
Yeah.
So Embiid's future is definitely a lot less definite because A, injuries, and B, age. I'm going to take Giannis as well after all that. I love the other two guys, too. And there's an argument that Porzingis, who's also a year behind Giannis, right? He could end up being as good as Giannis, but I think Giannis is going to be more of a star player.
Yeah, exactly. Giannis is going to be the kind of guy that you look at, and like I see him as the next LeBron, in the sense that this is the guy
not as good, but I agree.
Yeah, that like foreign nations will just watch him and be like, oh, I can make the assumption that this guy is the best basketball player in the world.
Yeah, if you bring an alien into a game that's featuring Giannis.
Yeah, like, Porzingis looks really weird. Wow.
Yeah, they're going to know that's the...
like, whoa, this guy is not human.
He's the guy from that game. I agree with you. He's more dominant in a specific game than Porzingis is. That's definitely
like
true.
These past few Cavs-Bucks games that we've seen, we saw him blow him out.
He has no fear.
We saw him lose
fear of the
last
deer.
night. Yeah, Yeah, he doesn't have any fear. He just goes right at it and looks at LeBron's like, hey, I'm better than you. And LeBron has to be like, crap, I have to play 47 minutes tonight. Let's prove that I'm better.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah, Giannis. We're going to take Giannis for now, but we really don't know yet. Is that fair?
I think that Porzingis has a very distinct advantage, though.
Yeah.
From the sense that, like,
his rim protection is otherworldly.
I was going to say that he has one of the best players of all time, and by saying that, I don't really mean, like, top 50, but maybe, like, top 100, top 150.
Melo.
In Melo, right? He's got one of the best offensive talents of this generation as well, teaching him, like, okay, when you're in this situation, you got to do this, or you got to do that, right? Or you got to pump fake, you can't do this or that. Who does, like, the Greek Freak has, like, the Jet.
Yes, he has Matthew Dellavedova.
Yeah, exactly. So, plus the market of New York is leaps and bounds ahead of Milwaukee.
For Milwaukee.
And I think that
and Philadelphia.
I think that the spotlight in New York can help someone flourish more than the cold in Milwaukee.
Also, with Melo being on his team, we haven't seen Porzingis in his number one option role yet. He's had a few games where he's had 20 or 30, and then Melo's backed off a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a year or two till we actually get Porzingis in his I'm the guy in this team.
I can't wait for him to be the next Dirk. Right?
And maybe he'll be better than Antetokounmpo when he gets that chance.
Yeah, I'd like to jump back to Embiid one more time.
Please
like you said,
I love him.
The
MVP. Yes.
The two biggest points with him are obviously his injuries, which has held him back thus far, and also his team, which he's on, which is the 76ers. And both of these could prove to be good things for him or bad, because his injuries, he's 2 years behind, like you said. He could use that to his advantage with the process.
Trust it.
Or he could, fall to being more prone to injuries. And also on his team, he could be one of those guys that just takes over when he's on a team by himself. When he could do better when he's the sole guy that's there, that's the scorer, or if he doesn't have those pieces around him, then he could kind of fall down more.
All right.
It all depends on how that works out.
Yeah.
So after those action-packed 41 and a half minutes, we're now ready to go into our Christmas segment. So Merry Christmas to all 11 of our followers.
Same. Yeah.
From the
all 13 now.
Ooh, we're getting pretty. We're a big deal now. So our first segment that we're going to talk about for Christmas is what is on your NBA Christmas list. What 4 things do you want this year for Christmas? We all have 4 things, which means that is a total of 13 with 12, not 12, which is a lot. So we're going to hopefully make these quick. Devin, you want to start off with your first
I'll start with my first one, that Ben Simmons is going to be lit.
I mean, okay.
All right, that's what I want. I want Ben Simmons to go out there. I want him to put up at least a triple-double
every night.
His first night.
Yeah. So
he just shows up, boom, 10 assists, 10 points, 10 rebounds. That's all I want.
Done.
Because he's not going to score more than 10.
Right.
But he can get 10 assists. Guy can pass.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm excited.
So may I add, if I could add a 5th one, going along with that, I hope that he actually comes back this season because
I think he will.
All year I've been remembering that they are the Sixers and they trust the process so much, they might even just not make him play unless he's 100, 105% or whatever. Yeah. Anything on Ben Simmons?
I just want to say, I know he's doing on-court activities now without a boot, right? He's shooting and stuff. I don't know how much he's running drills, but no non-contact shooting, he's doing a lot of that.
He's
now.
LeBron is Antetokounmpo.
He's going to be playing the point guard.
I like that.
Going to be
the point forward, whatever it is, the point.
According to Brett Brown, he's going to be playing the point guard, and he's going to be guarding point guards.
Oh no,
which is going to be interesting.
All right, Nick, anything on that?
No, not really.
All right, let's move on.
All right, well, for my first thing, mine are a lot more.
Sorry, I forgot that you host this, not me.
No, I mean we both do. You do you're the uploader. Anyway, mine are a lot more kind of out there than yours are, less realistic. And my first one is I want an old timers game to be added to All-Star Weekend.
Yes, please.
Wow. Let me just put this out there. Do you think that Allen Iverson can go out there and get a few buckets right now?
Now, he can do it right now. Tracy McGrady can do it right now. Let's go.
If Kobe gets invited to this game, he's going to score 60 again because he's going to shoot every time he has the ball.
Yeah, good point.
It's going to be like Kobe and Larry Bird and Jordan, and he's never going to pass.
I can imagine a world where Bill Russell just hobbles out there.
Just for one possession.
Just for at least a possession and tries to get down the court.
Right? I mean, you remember when Elijah played in that Rising Stars game, I think it was. He did one dream shake and Twitter exploded. Yeah. Because he's awesome and he's like, he did a dream shake. Imagine a whole game of that.
Yeah.
It had to be a short game and there would be no fast breaks, but it would be so much fun to watch.
That would, wow.
All right, Nick, what's your first thing?
My first thing for Christmas is I would like in this game between the Cavaliers and the Warriors
Christmas Day
for LeBron to come back and prove to me that he is still an MVP candidate because he came out very strong at the beginning of the season, but he hasn't really been in the news much in the past, I don't know, couple weeks or so.
May I add that that's probably because one player is averaging a triple-double and the other one has a beard.
Only one has a beard.
And the other one plays for the other 4 play for the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, but
okay, carry on.
We'll definitely see how that goes. You know, it's going to be a very interesting MVP race this year, and I'll just like to see how that how he adds into that.
Yeah, I like that one.
Go ahead.
Honestly, I don't think we're going to see MVP form LeBron until June.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to watch him destroy, and I want to watch him. Did you watch the Bucks game last night by any chance on League Pass? I didn't think you did.
I did not.
The guy put up so many threes and actually made them, and it was nice. Right, so like you see these little glimpses of LeBron, and I know what you're getting at. Like you don't want to just see glimpses. Like, we know it's there, but I think the problem is that LeBron's not going to... Like, he's going to be like, you know what? I know what you want for Christmas, but you want me to win the championship for Christmas even more.
Yeah, so, he knows what's best.
Except I know you guys want the Warriors to win for whatever reason.
What's your second thing, Devin?
I want KD to get injured.
Okay. All right. I'll let you talk now for a few minutes while I think about that.
Okay. I don't want the Warriors to be good, honestly. Like... It's awesome, like that. This team that was drafted and now has 3 All-Stars. I'm talking about before KD joins, right?
Okay.
And like Harrison Barnes is fine. Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston, Mo Spates, Mo Buckets.
Yeah. So
like all these like really good role players, and then all these finely crafted like. Great draft picks, right? Great draft picks.
Draymond 35th, Clay 11th,
exactly,
that's 7th. That's what, yeah.
And I just like it's just like hurts me to watch this team and be like, okay, they're so good. They won 73 games, and then Kevin Durant's like, that's mine now.
If I can agree with this in a bit of a less brutal way,
injury tears meniscus. I don't want to lose an arm or something.
You would like to see a more competitive series with the Cavaliers, and specifically you'd like it to be Durant that's not there. So you'd basically like them to undo the Durant signing, is what you're saying.
Okay, yeah.
I can kind of agree with that. I think it'd be more entertaining, but I also love the fact that the Warriors are playing with Durant and they're so good. So anything on that? Should we move on?
Yeah. I kind of see where you're getting at there. I'd like to see what they do without him too, but would it be more like it was last year, or would it be different? Maybe they would be better, maybe they'd be worse.
Mm-hmm. I don't think you can get much better than 73 and 9, but still, I get what you mean. Yeah.
Luke, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So my next thing is I wish for a healthy career for Joel Embiid. Can I get an amen?
Amen. Shalom.
Everyone agrees with that.
Flourishing.
Obviously, we'd like to see MVP be have a long, healthy career. And there's not much to say about that one. I'm explaining about it. It's just he's had a lot of injuries, and I really, 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 really hope that he doesn't have any more, because he could be a Bill Walton who just, ends his career early, or he could be Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, someone like that who's a legend.
He reminds me of Hakeem a lot, except for all the injuries, right?
All right, yeah.
Can I go to mine now, or
Nick's got one more, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Nick's second one is?
My second one is that the Clippers will stay afloat without BG, who will be absent for the next 4
That's one of the opposites of
the
mine,
Rockets fan disagrees.
That's the complete opposite of mine. Thanks.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what they do.
We'll let you do that one next.
Like we talked about earlier with his injury, it's going to, it's going to be interesting.
I'm fine with him not being there because I want the Rockets to be a 3 seed so they don't have to play the Warriors in the second round. Thank you. All right, I'm just going to cross that one off and go with my 5th option then.
Okay.
You want me to start then?
I'm talking about Knicks real fast.
I'm sorry. I'm just really excited
we want to make
this
this quick anyway. I think that obviously the Clippers, they haven't really had that season where they haven't really gotten hurt. Last year was CP3 and Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see them, I'm with you, Nick, I'd like to see them healthy to maybe have a chance at the Warriors, or maybe at least just stay afloat in the 2 seed.
Yeah, they've been close to making the conference finals the past few years. They've had the opportunity.
They blew a 3-1 lead to Houston.
Yeah,
they did. Yes.
Then they were just destroyed within.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
All right, Devin.
Okay, my next one is I don't want Westbrook to average a triple-double.
You don't want him to?
Yes.
All right.
And I can explain for a couple of reasons why.
I understand.
If he doesn't, then James Harden probably wins MVP.
Yep, you like him. Yep.
Okay. B, I think that we don't need this in the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, someone who averages a triple-double is awesome. Everyone's going to watch Russell Westbrook, right? But now his expectations are like, whoa, look at this guy. If he can't do it again, like, I'm not saying that that's the problem.
I
right?
gotcha.
But this is not a Western Conference team, right?
Right.
This is the kind of they can be like, oh wow, are they going to make it to the second round?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
nope.
I'm kind of with you there.
And so, like, I don't want Westbrook to kill himself this season for no reason.
Yeah. So I understand where you're coming from there, and I think that yeah, it was really fun while it lasted, but it'd be okay if it kind of went away and we got over it.
He needs to rest.
Yeah, he does. All right. My third one. My third one is I would like there to be a 7-foot and up 3-point contest, 7-footer and over, because Joel Embiid is leading. He was leading the league in 3-point percentage. I think he's like top 10 now. Marc Gasol is shooting a lot of threes now. You brought up Dragon Bender's name. Is Dirk 7 feet tall? If he is, get him on there. If you want to round up Kevin Durant, sure, you can be in there too. You know, there's so many big guys that are shooting threes now in the NBA. Feel free to throw out more examples that I'm not thinking of right now. Vucevic,
yeah,
Horford. He's probably 6'11".
Yeah.
Or if you want to make it 6'11" and up, whatever it is, just make a big man 3-point contest. Would be kind of fun. Jokic.
People who play the 5.
Yep.
Exclusive.
Or maybe
that
the 4.
They could be like 6'10" and a half.
I agree with you. Just having
4 as well.
All these Towns, Davis.
Yeah.
Blake Griffin.
Those
maybe.
guys.
Just there's so many post players that can shoot now.
Okay.
And I feel like the 3-point contest, which has Curry and Thompson in there, it's kind of not. It doesn't give a chance to the big guys. So I wish there was a separate one for them.
Yeah, I don't know if I could get into a completely new all-star event, but
I've got one more. So, okay.
I could definitely see them adding more guys to the 3-point contest, especially the big men. That would be really fun to see.
All right.
Speaking of more people doing all-star things, I want an 18-man all-star roster.
Ooh, okay.
Because let's go through just the guard positions in the East, shall we?
We shall. East or West?
East. Well, let's start in the East. Kyrie Irving.
Isaiah Thomas.
All right. John Wall. Now you threw me off.
Lowry and DeRozan.
Like, there's two.
Is Paul George? Yeah.
Paul George is he's a 3, but
he's a backcourt.
Yeah. Like
there's gonna be Butler. There's Kyrie.
Butler. Yeah.
Wade.
Yeah,
he'll make it.
I like
just
him
because that's how that happens.
Schroeder.
But now Kemba.
John Wall.
Yeah.
I already said him.
I don't think Schroeder's an all-star yet, but he'll be. I think
Giannis.
Giannis is. They're not. They're gonna throw him in the 3.
Ish Smith.
But now, like, I don't know how. Like, I haven't.
Okay.
Contavious Caldwell-Pope.
Okay, we're done.
Matthew Dellavedova.
Mike Carter-Williams.
Sure.
Okay, next thing.
Okay, I'm not done with this.
Oh,
yet.
great. You're not done yet.
There's too many great players in this league to get snuffed every year. I.e., Damian Lillard.
Yeah,
okay?
I agree. Next.
Or snubbed, excuse me.
Snuffed. That's good. I like that. We'll use that term now.
Snuffed.
All right.
So, I'm sorry, I'm just not quite done yet.
Please.
Like, now that media votes, the media vote is a lot more important.
Good thing.
I think that's great. Yeah, that means that probably means that Melo and Wade.
Okay, Kobe started last year. Come on.
Well, that's because Thompson gave him his starting spot.
Okay, whatever. Continue.
Either way, like, I think it's going to be a lot more exciting to see media people, like people who really actually understand basketball, to be voting. But either way, they gotta have a bigger roster, especially if they want to especially if they want to get Porzingis on that roster.
Please do. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I really like that combination they have now for voting. So my third thing is that the 76ers this year will win at least 20 games for the first time since 2013.
13?
That's 4 years ago.
Wow.
It's been a while.
Do you know, I just learned this from True Hoop the other day.
True Hoop.
At the beginning of the 11-12 season, the 76ers, for the first 20 games, had the best offensive rating in history.
Wow.
And then they completely fell off, and they haven't won 20 games in
That's interesting.
90 years.
So, Nick, I'm kind of torn on this one because half of me is like, yes, Sixers win, good. And I'm kind of a low-key, like, I like the Sixers to an extent because of Embiid and because I like the process.
I just want to watch Ben Simmons destroy.
But the other half of me is like, I trust the process so much that if they were to have one more poor year, one more high lottery pick, then I could really get into their team next year and they could be even better in the future. So there's obviously arguments both ways.
I think that's what we've been saying though for quite some time.
True.
They have been trusting the process, but
at some point they have to make the jump.
Yeah, they have to make that next step. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I think that they're right where the Lakers were last year, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the Lakers just needed one last piece, and they got Brandon Ingram. I'm not saying he's like a star player, but he's going to be a great role player for them in the next couple of years.
So how many years behind are the Sixers is the question.
So I think the Sixers they got Embiid, they got
Saric,
Simmons, and like Saric is going to be okay.
Okafor, I guess.
Okafor, yeah. But like they just need, I think they just need like one more, someone to get rid of Robert Covington.
And they got to make some trades too. So
this isn't just going to happen. They have to make a move.
Yeah.
All right.
And they're not going to make a move.
Now everyone has one more of their 4, correct?
Yes.
So I'll go first.
I went through 4, so I think it's just you.
All right. So just me and Nick have one to go. You can go first, Nick, for your last one. I have a big one for my last one.
Okay. My last one is that the Chicago Bulls, which have been really up and down, that they finally find some consistency. Whether that's good or bad, I would really like them to have the consistency, It's really frustrating for a fan like me who just I see them lose 2 straight back-to-back to the Bucks.
Giannis.
And then they score 69.5 against the Pistons,
Yeah. So if I can expand on that a little bit, they had a pretty, after the circus trip, which is the road trip they take every year during the circus in Chicago.
Thanks.
They were doing pretty good. They were sitting at 16-10, I believe. 10-6. They were 10-6. Now, before last night, they were 12-12 or 13-13. They were 500.
They're 14-13. Right?
So they were 13-13.
Not bad.
So they had a bit of a skid there. They were really up and down. I agree with you. I like to see some consistency from our Chicago Bulls, Nick. But that's a bit of a biased one, so we can probably move on.
Yep.
All right, my last one. I think that the lottery should be changed. This is probably not going to happen ever, but it'd be kind of fun for me if tanking was a little bit less incentivized. Mm-hmm. And one way to do this, which is totally unrealistic and not very effective, but very fun to talk about, is a tournament. So all the 14 teams that miss the playoffs have a single elimination tournament, and the winner gets the first pick. So basically, the obvious problem here,
the best team.
Is that that's the problem. That the team that is, but if it's single elimination,
because let's say the Timberwolves fall out of the playoffs,
or the Jazz last year,
the Jazz don't need a number 1 pick.
Or there's a couple other options that you can do with this. Well, first of all, it's 14 teams, so there has to be a bye somewhere. And my personal preference is that the worst teams get the bye, which gives them a bit of a better chance.
And that's in the Sixers.
Yep.
Okay.
And one more.
But that would also increase tanking.
Right. Well, not as much, because right now, if you are 30th in the league, your chance of number 1 pick is really good.
Yeah.
But if you do that tournament thingy that I just brought up, then being 30th in the league, your chances are not terribly good. 30th and, 23rd aren't the same, are similar chances as far as making it to the top pick. So preferably, I think, after the tournament, the team that wins the tournament gets the number 1 spot in the lottery, not the first pick automatically. Mm-hmm. Like, when they have the lottery, they have the percent chance for first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, say you have the tournament, and then whoever wins that gets the best chance. Second place gets second best chance, and so on from there. So something like that would be really fun. Bill Simmons, who we love and talk about a lot of times in this podcast, he's brought up the entertaining as heck tournament, as he calls it, where the last few spots in the playoffs, the last spot in each conference, is chosen by a big tournament. So like a team that isn't that good in the season, like the Sixers or whoever, but actually is fun, they can actually play well in that tournament and get the 8th seed in the playoffs. But obviously the 8th seed loses anyway, so.
Yeah. What about like the bottom 4 teams in the league go through the tournament?
That's fine
and then
too.
the second bottom 4, so there's like separate tiers.
That's better too.
That
I
way
like
the Jazz don't get stuck with the 1 pick, but then they get like the 8th pick or whatever.
Yeah, that's also a good point. Or like, 2 years ago when the Thunder missed the playoffs, because what if the Thunder missed the playoffs with the Durant injury?
Yeah,
like drafted Giannis.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's something to be more fun with the lottery, something like a tournament of some sort. But obviously that's a very extreme example. So
I think one more problem though with this thing is that with a tournament like this, one, it would kind of be taking away from the playoffs in a way.
You got to find a good time for it, obviously, which there isn't right now.
Like
and
June
secondly,
7th.
And secondly, would every team want to risk maybe an injury just for going through this tournament.
Well, that makes it
like the odds are 98% that Embiid gets injured in this showcase.
Sure. That makes it kind of fun too, though. Like if you're the T-Wolves and or a team that just misses the playoffs, say you're the Bulls.
There could be more strategy with do they want to go for the number 1 pick or do they want to rest up?
Say you're the Bulls last year, you just missed the playoffs. Do you want to rest Butler for the whole tournament and wait, or do you want to try and sneak in and get it? So I think we can move on after that.
Yep.
One more Christmas thing. We're running out of time. Let's make it fast. The Christmas Day games this season. There are 5 of them. They're all fun games. We're gonna make some picks. The first, most obvious, important one is the finals rematch: Cavs versus Warriors.
Yup.
Who you guys got in this game?
Where is this
Assuming
game at?
everyone's healthy. I think it's at Oracle, right?
Yeah. No, it's in Cleveland because it's always in the defending champs building. I've got Warriors. There's no way. We saw it last year when the Warriors shredded the Cavs. Now granted, they didn't have Kevin Love, they didn't have Kyrie at full health at that point. But the Cavs are going to look to make 33 pointers and put up 160 against LeBron, right? Honestly, I really just don't think the Cavs stand a chance for this game.
So
it's different than a 7-game series, right?
I gotcha.
Because this is where the revenge comes into play.
I think it could be. There's a good argument there with the revenge factor. First of all, we should make a disclaimer that Kevin Love might still be hurt by this point. We really, really hope not because he's awesome. And the Cavs are awesome. I want to see them both play against each other healthy.
I would also like to premise that the Cavs don't care about the regular season.
Yep. So if someone is rested or injured, that kind of throws the whole thing out of the window.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take the Warriors as well, but I think that in one game anything can happen, and I think LeBron's going to be motivated, which is huge too. This isn't LeBron playing, I don't know, at New Orleans on September whatever. September or November, whatever. Yeah. But yeah, seeing LeBron go against the Warriors on Christmas Day on national TV is going to be a very motivated game for him too.
Yeah, with JR out and possibly Love, even if it's in Cleveland, I'm gonna have to take the Warriors.
Cleveland, this is for you. Okay,
indeed it is.
Next one, Bulls, Spurs. Sorry guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna take the Spurs too. I like the Bulls.
Do you know where it is?
I'm searching it up right now, but it's not loading very fastly.
So
I'm pretty sure
it's Spurs don't lose on the road for
some
reason. So
it's in San Antonio, I think. I like this. I like the Spurs as well, but I think that the Bulls have it. It's a one-game thing once again, and the Bulls are actually really good in prime time.
Yeah. Okay.
They play better on TNT. They've won 16 straight home TNT games, or Thursday night or whatever it is, the big night TNT games. They haven't lost in a couple of years on those, but this is Christmas is different, obviously. So yeah, you gotta just to point that out. That I do think the Bulls stand a chance because they beat the Spurs last time, and Butler and Wade are gonna come up for this game and they're gonna be playing hard.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The next one is gonna be a little bit hairy.
Celtics
Knicks
at Knicks.
I'm gonna give it to the Knicks.
Oh no.
I actually am too because Derrick Rose is on his way back.
Boo.
He's not playing too bad this season.
No, he's surprisingly competent.
Surprisingly, yep.
I mean, he's still not better than a replacement level point guard.
No, but he is on his way back from an injury, and this will be at New York. So, and right now they are 1 game apart record-wise. So we'll see how that goes.
All right.
Can we just say that at the beginning of the season, I don't think anyone expected the Celtics and Knicks to be close in standings. Right.
I like the Celtics.
Yeah, same. I like Isaiah Thomas a lot. He put up 44 last night.
I'm going to take the Celtics to win this game, I think. Even though it's going to be a close one, like you said. I like the Celtics' chances. They're healthy now. I think they're kind of starting to get in the groove. It's been kind of a disappointing season for them. They're supposed to be the second or third best team in the East, but they really have not been that good so far.
Yeah,
so I'm going to take the
almost every
Celtics.
game. Yeah.
Moving on, Thunder against Wolves.
Ooh, good game. This is going to be probably the second best game on this.
Yeah, this one is in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Thunder.
I think I am too.
It's going to be fun to watch.
Westbrook knows how to put on a show.
Right, Westbrook knows how to put on a show. It's Christmas, it's Westbrook. And he's going to do something awesome. He's going to probably score 25, 23, and 15 or whatever. And I really hope that he does, and I really hope that I can watch it on national television with my family. So there we go. I'll take the Thunder, but I think it's going to be a good game, and I think there's definitely potential for a big Towns game, too.
Yeah. Towns has some. I mean, he's got a lot more big games than I think I planned on this year. Like I kind of expected the guy to be like. I didn't expect him to be bad. I'm just like I expected him to be obviously improved, but I didn't expect him to ever have like 47 night performances and 41 point night performances. So that's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game. Those are both really interesting teams this year. So I'm also going to take the Thunder. And our last game that we have is the Staples Center matchup, Clippers and Lakers.
So who's home for this game?
So I was just going to say, can they just do half of the court Clippers, half of the court LA?
Yeah. So I'm going to take. I think I'm going to take the Clippers.
Me too.
It's going to be a fun game because the Clippers are going to be a little down a man. Blake Griffin makes it a little bit closer.
Yeah.
But I think that Chris Paul's going to rise to the challenge, and DeAndre Jordan's going to miss not that many free throws.
He will.
It's going to be a good one.
What's he going to do?
I guess, it's tough to pick once again in a one-game situation, but I'm going to give my money on the Clippers if I had to pick. Nick?
Yeah, even without Blake Griffin, the Lakers are no match. You know, that's going to be a fun one, too, because it's always fun with the Clippers and Lakers. You know, It's one of those matchups that no matter who's good and who's not, that's always a matchup that's fun to watch.
Yeah.
All right, we have a great sophomore watch coming out for the next episode and a few more great ideas. So thanks for listening today, guys. Find us on SoundCloud or YouTube, Dedunked Basketball Podcast.
I just wanted to give a shout out to one of our biggest fans, Adam Kopka.
Hey,
he's been a very loyal follower so far, and we're glad that he's been listening.
If he listens this far in this episode, we're proud of him. Probably won't. So that'll be about it for today's Dedunked Basketball Podcast. I'm Luke, and for Nick and Devin, thanks for listening. We'll see you next.